That's the hardest step. Once you're there, you're like, well, I'm here now.
Really distracting. But then there's also relapse and then stopping. I feel like I've gone through those processes
Yeah.
a million times. Hi, my name is Amin and I'm the Muscle Maestro. Welcome to another episode of What You Sayin. Today we have a mobile sports massage therapist.
I'm Alison, Abel Sport Therapy. I'm a sports therapist I graduated from Leeds Beckett, around the Leeds area. But yeah, I currently work in semi-professional football too at Ossett United.
What got you into sports massage and the therapy industry?
I also did sports science for my undergrad, and then I graduated, and there weren't really many specific roles to do with sports science, I felt.
Yeah.
And at the time, all my friends were doing masters, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just try it as well." And I'm really glad I did because I wanted to do physiotherapy, but I knew I was going to have to do uni part-time. So I saw the sports therapy course at Leeds Beckett, and I thought, well, I wanted to work in sports anyway, and it was more convenient and more specific to what I wanted. So that's how I fell into that. But yeah, I'm really glad I picked it up because I learnt skills that I found really useful, obviously in my work, as you do. But yeah, so I'm glad that I went into sports therapy.
Amazing. Thank you for coming on.
Okay.
The main reason for this podcast is to highlight the importance of exercise to the general public.
Yeah.
I find that the information that we know, having gone to university, isn't widely accessible.
Yeah.
And isn't widely readily available to the average person who hasn't gone to study this at university. So I wanted to create something that is informative and to be able to share those experiences with other people in the field.
Yeah.
And get other perspectives to try and bring this to the general public.
Yeah.
One thing that I've recently noticed is that, as we were talking earlier before the podcast, everything is becoming a lot more convenient. You can order food to your house, you sit in front of the TV, you drive to work, you sit at a desk all day. What do you think the effects of... Sorry, one sec. That is really distracting. So one thing that I found is that a lot of the general population are becoming sedentary.
Yeah.
Driving to work, sitting at a desk at work, sitting on a couch at home. What would you say are the benefits of exercise?
Most people these days are becoming sedentary.
Yeah.
Due to these factors.
As we're progressing, one thing that I've noticed throughout the general population is that people are becoming more and more sedentary.
Yeah.
How would you say that exercise improves somebody's lifestyle?
Just going off my own personal experience and then also what I learned at uni, I think the biggest factor these days is mood. I think a lot of people are maybe more open to speaking about mental health, or maybe it's become more of a problem, but definitely improved mood to do with anxiety, depression. It can, obviously release those feel good hormones when you exercise. Giving people purpose, I think too. Sometimes when I'm not working, I feel like, oh, what am I going to do? And then when I get to the gym, I think the hardest part is getting to exercise. Whether you're leaving your front door or getting into the gym, that's the hardest step. Once you're there, you're like, well, I'm here now. I might as well give 110%. Because I think what I found is oh, I'm not feeling too good. I'll just do 2 exercises in the gym. But once I get there, I feel better about it.
So what you've just highlighted is explained really well in something called the trans-theoretical model for behaviour change.
Okay.
What that describes is there are 5 stages. So there's thinking about, I'm going to exercise.
Yeah.
Then there's purchasing equipment or clothing.
Yeah.
Shoes, sports gear. Then there's going and doing it.
Yeah.
But then there's also relapse and then stopping. I feel like I've gone through those processes a million times.
I think there is a big shift in sort of what you wear to the gym, and I think it actually can have a really positive impact because a lot of people would say, oh, it's not a fashion show, but I think if you feel that you look good, you will feel better to do certain things. That's something that I've noticed with myself as well. If I feel that I look good, I'm like, okay, well, I want to put the effort in to push myself as well to feel better as well. So yeah, I've seen like a massive trend, and especially since like Gymshark as well opened, and like, oh gosh, like when was it, like 2008 or something? Yeah, massive trend in those sort of like gym apparel clothing things. But yeah,
Yeah, because makes you feel confident,
yeah,
makes you feel important,
yeah, for
and
sure.
going and doing those exercises and feeling in a safe space is gonna keep you motivated to stay there.
Yeah,
So the next topic that we've got to discuss is why movement matters for the musculoskeletal system. So in relation to muscle strength and stability, what can exercise do for someone listening to their muscles, to their stability, to their core?
I think one factor my lecturers always reminded us is of that key phrase: use it or lose it.
Yeah, that leads into things like sarcopenia.
Yeah,
If you aren't training, then you are going to be at risk of
yeah,
losing your muscle mass, losing your bone density,
yeah.
your bones,
Balance and
balance, coordination, everything deteriorates.
yeah, and even like confidence to do those things, especially if you've come back from an injury, you will notice that players are sort of more hesitant to do certain activities because they have that sort of fear in the back of their mind. Oh, I don't want to
I
do
don't want to
that.
get injured again.
Yeah, um, or maybe they because they haven't been doing something for a while, they think, oh, can I even do that movement anymore? But it can relate to like everyday people as well, just with um regular movements too. But yeah,
Even things like um, synovial fluid in your joints, cartilage,
yeah.
the fascia.
Because that was a big thing with my mum. The reason she had to have the whole knee operation was all her synovial fluid, the fluid that liquidates the joints and keeps it moving. It all dried up, and then mixed with the arthritis. That's why she had to have the whole knee replacement, which is quite a traumatic surgery to have. And yeah, so it's not great. So that's I think that's a major reason why you do want to keep moving. Obviously, there might have been factors why it dried up, but I think lack of exercise definitely didn't help the situation.
So, what are some things that your mum's having to do now in terms of um, getting back into exercise post op?
Definitely a lot of pain management, because of the arthritis and sort of just old age. There's definitely a lot of pain factors, and maybe not wanting to put yourself or to push yourself because you don't want to have that sort of the negative symptoms. So it's definitely a lot of a mental thing, and I think she's happy that she can ask me questions about what's safe for her to do and what can she do. Because I think like with a lot of people, she was sort of Googling, and then Google would say like, take these supplements and you'll feel 10 years younger. And she was going, is this true? And I was like, well, not really. Like, it's just about exercising well and eating well.
Yeah,
There's no magical cure. But yeah. So yeah.
and there must be so many people across the country who have undergone operations. The NHS is a whole different subject. Waiting lists, waiting for an operation, advice that you're getting from clinicians,
Yeah.
etc. All of these things could potentially be minimized or prevented through something that's free.
Yeah.
You know, you can go out for a walk, go out for a jog,
Yeah.
cycle, go to a swim. There are so many different avenues to
Yeah.
exercise, and I think that's getting lost in everyday life. So it yeah, I would definitely say it's extremely important for people to a hobby that gets them outside and gets them moving.
I think with social media, it can either have like a really positive impact on people or really negative because they're seeing, for myself, I see gym videos and I'm like, "Oh, I want to do that. I want to look as good as this person, not just like for aesthetics, but also I want to be able to lift and jump higher and run faster. That's for myself. But I think some people could be put off by it because they're like, oh, that's so unrealistic or unattainable. And I think that's just how you view it. If you're
Yeah,
gonna think I'm never gonna do that, then it's a different challenge in that way. You have to that's more of a mental side to it. But I think once you start exercising, even if it is just a walk in the park, you you will feel better. You might not know it or realize it, but you will feel better.
long term,
Yeah.
it will definitely improve like your mental state, your
Yeah.
mood, releasing sort of hormones
Yeah,
in your body.
endorphins and
Don't
dopamine. Yeah.
exactly. I just wanted to touch on social media.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're running a podcast.
Yeah.
We're trying to put out some stuff on social media. How do you think social media is shaping people like the younger generation's perception of like body image?
Like I said before, I think it can either have a really good impact or a negative impact. What I've found is that for women, I think they're being shown to actually feel themselves a lot better than they were when I was younger. I think that sort of really skinny, slim frame was more what younger girls wanted before. Whereas now it is that more like muscular frame, which obviously you do need to eat like well
Yeah.
and a lot more to get that. So I think it can have a really positive impact, but obviously everyone's influenced differently, and not everyone's gonna want to have the same outcome. Some people do want to have that more maybe unhealthy physique, whereas, but yeah, I think long term it has been positive for people, but it's still different for everybody.
What would you say? I mean, we've touched on it briefly, but what would you say that some of the long term risks of being sedentary are? I mean, there's things like there's so many different health complications.
Yeah.
The, the main thing for me is posture.
Yes.
We're always sat down.
Yeah. I was gonna say this as well. Yeah.
We're always sat at a desk, sat in the
Yeah.
car. Um,
Even on the phone, like I get that sometimes, the sort of rounded shoulders.
yeah,
Because even if I'm sitting like straight, but I'll still be looking at my phone, and it's this area that I struggle with
and
sometimes.
I was reading up on this the other day, like the load that you put on your neck.
Yeah,
Even like a 5 degree tilt,
yeah,
it's like 5 kilograms or more. Um, and then the lower you tilt your head,
yeah,
the more load that's been put on your
yeah,
neck. And a lot of people that are booking in with me, a lot of their symptoms are upper trap,
yeah,
shoulder issues, and that can simply be fixed by tilting your head back
yeah.
and doing something like a rear delt.
I always recommend to people, I think whenever I finish a massage session, I show people just a few exercises that they could do in the morning or the evening. And it is usually just up and down, side
Yeah.
to side, all around, and then like a few yoga movements that I've taken from doing yoga classes.
I mean, we always tell like kids to stretch. You
Yeah.
got to stretch every day, every morning. Then as adults, it's lost, isn't it?
Yeah.
With life.
I think that's the main thing I ask people. I'm like, so do you do any stretching? They're like, and they know they
Yeah,
always
you
like
can
look
tell
guilty.
immediately, like,
And I'm
nah, they don't stretch.
yeah. I think that's why a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to post is like mobility and stretching because there is already a huge market for gym videos and showing you how to like increase hypertrophy. But I just want to show people how to like prevent injuries mainly. I think that's the sort of my target.
And there's a lot of content out there about the structure of a training plan, and it's always do this exercise to grow your biceps, to grow
Yeah.
your hand, etc. Plans are all out there, but that's not functional.
Hmm.
So if you're following a plan, a structured plan, is that going to help you lift your child up? Is it going to help you bend over in the bath to wash your
Yeah.
kid? And these things are important for everyday people,
Yeah.
families. And I think the training workouts that content creators put out there need to be more functional based
Yeah.
rather than clickbait.
Yeah. A lot of the videos that I've seen, because you always get told, oh, protect your back with certain movements, but you also need to be training the muscles there.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the people that I've seen with bad backs, I try and show them like how to strengthen it using, say, like back extension
yeah,
or what are the other ones I showed? I think they're called Jefferson curls, the
yeah,
one
yeah.
where you like roll through your spine and extend. Because you want to strengthen those muscles. You don't want to just avoid using them. Because then when you do make an awkward movement, they're strong enough to resist sort of the possibly being pulled and then having that bad back.
What could people do on a day-to-day basis to improve things like this? So one thing that I recommend is like a stretch routine, a
Mm.
mobility routine, and whenever I say this to clients, I always see like a little glint in their eye, like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then it's like, I know you're not gonna.
Yeah.
Um, how can we as therapists persuade people to become more mobile?
I think one realistic advice that I try and give to people is if they're working a desk job and if they work at home, whether they work in office, move to a standing desk. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be the whole day. You can obviously sit down for a bit, but I think that's one thing of just trying to sort the posture out and also getting the legs like working, because even if you can stand and sort of move side to side, or even just like work standing for a long time is working the soleus and the leg muscles. So yeah, I think a standing desk doesn't have to be the whole day, is one really easy change to sort of reduce the risk of like posture.
Even like getting up
Yeah.
every 45 minutes to an
Yeah.
hour, just standing up,
Yeah.
walking about, and then sitting back down again.
Yeah.
That it
And
has so many benefits.
being mindful too of how you're sitting. Like when I walk past like a shop mirror and I realize that I'm a bit curved, I immediately like push my shoulders back and my chest forward. So it's just being mindful every now and then. If you notice yourself sort of slumping, just be like, just remind yourself and sit up, because it does have to be
Conscious effort.
yeah, until it can become unconscious after a while. It's just about training yourself to do that and training those muscles as well.
This is my first time doing
No,
this. I'm so,
you're doing
you know
great.
what? To be honest, like I didn't know what to expect
Yeah,
having this conversation, and I think in my head I knew what I wanted to say and I knew how I
yeah,
wanted it to go. But then when you're actually sat here talking on
yeah.
the camera, like it's so this like so much pressure, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
well, there's no pressure,
I
like
think I think we've had a really good conversation in
yeah,
terms of there's some really good content that people can listen to, and
yeah,
some take home advice that I would probably recommend to a lot of people
yeah,
is that start slow, even if it's one workout a
yeah,
week, um, whatever that may be, a jog, a swim,
yeah,
a home workout, yoga,
yeah.
anything. With the internet now,
That's what I was gonna
so
say,
many
yeah.
there's so many avenues that people can go down.
There's yeah, lots of resources available to people. And if you're not sure what to look for, that's where we come in, because you don't have to book in every single week to get some information. We could say, oh, go look at this video, or because I get a lot of the stuff that I do in the gym or mobility work from like YouTube videos. I think that's what it's there for, is to inspire people and show you that it's not as hard as you think it is to sort of be active or be mobile.
Amazing. Thank you for coming, and
That's
I think
okay.
we'll end it there.
Yeah.
I'm the Muscle Maestro. Thanks for watching.